A stunning mistake nearly cost Alpine one of its biggest results in years. What first looked like a routine penalty for Pierre Gasly at the Monaco Grand Prix has now become a story about persistence, doubt, and a team that refused to accept what it believed was an obvious injustice. When Gasly crossed the finish line in third place, Alpine thought it had secured a rare and valuable podium. Moments later, everything collapsed. 2 speeding penalties in the pit lane dropped the Frenchman to 7th, stripping him of crucial points and denying the team a celebration it had earned on track. But inside Alpine, something immediately felt wrong. The first warning signs had appeared long before race day. Throughout practice sessions in Monaco, several drivers received pit lane speeding penalties, often by incredibly small margins. Steve Nielsen, Alpine's team principal, admitted that while the team did not initially know the exact cause, it became increasingly convinced that there was a problem somewhere in the system. And this is where the situation becomes serious. Alpine began digging through every piece of data available. The team focused on the first 2 timing loops inside Monaco's unusual curved pit lane. Formula One management had calculated the shortest distance between those loops as 2,692 centimeters. That measurement was critical because average speed was calculated by dividing that distance by the time taken to travel between the 2 points. But then a major discovery emerged. LiDAR scans of the circuit later showed that the theoretical shortest route between those timing loops was actually only 2,615 centimeters. While a car could not physically follow that exact line because of its width, the real minimum distance was still significantly shorter than the figure used by officials. That's the real issue. The numbers completely changed the picture. Gasly's times between the loops were recorded at 1.604 seconds and 1.602 seconds. Using the FIA's original distance, he appeared to be speeding. Using the corrected distance, he was actually almost 2 kilometers below the limit. In simple terms, the timing data was accurate, but the distance used in the calculation was not. This changes everything. Nielsen explained that Alpine's confidence came from its own telemetry. He said the team's engineers repeatedly checked the data and found no evidence that Gasly had exceeded the 60 km/h limit. In most speeding cases, teams immediately see the violation in their own systems. This time they saw nothing. We were very, very certain that we were innocent, he admitted. That confidence became even stronger after discussions with other teams that had also suspected a problem in that section of the pit lane. The FIA eventually agreed. After reviewing the evidence and recalculating the figures, the governing body concluded that Gasly had never exceeded the speed limit. The penalties were removed, the podium was restored, and Alpine recovered the points it had lost. Yet the victory came with a bitter taste. The team got justice, but it lost the emotional moment of standing on the podium in Monaco, and it may not stop here. What makes this story even more remarkable is that no other team can now follow Alpine's path. The deadline to request a review has already expired. Any team that accepted its penalty is effectively locked into that result. So while Gasly's podium has been restored, questions remain about how such an error happened in the first place. If Alpine had not challenged the decision, would anyone have ever discovered the mistake? And how many teams will now be wondering what might have been? What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.